Hi all. Right, welcome back to Conflict to Heroes. Solo Mission 1, Search and Destroy. This is part 3, this part of the video series. Probably quite close to finishing this. I do have a bit of glare. Probably quite close to finishing this one. I'm reasonably happy with this new app that I've got, so I'm going to cancel that subscription to that Mac Pro. Not that that's anything you need to worry about, but I thought I wanted to check this first. The only thing I'm not keen on is the zoom's kind of a bit brutal. So I know there's 2 or 3 preset zoom settings, so maybe I can mess with that. I'm not really keyed up on how all this works very well, but I can maybe fiddle about that. Anyway, I watched that. I thought that part 2 was okay. That was recorded fully, but sound comes through pretty loud actually as well, and so maybe the setting on that could be toned down a little bit, but I dare say you just turn your volume down if you but I thought the video quality was good. I'm not sure of the size of the videos as well. I wanted to check that. I've not looked into that yet. Anyway, so back to the game. Now, I've been reading through the 3rd edition rules of Conflict to Heroes Awakening the Bear, and there's 2 or 3 little bits popping out that I'd like to sort of be using in here. Now, I know I said I wouldn't use the rules. I think what I need to do is make a decision and get these rules either printed out or, use them completely rather than all these different versions that I've got. It might just contradict. There was 2 or 3 things come up. I should have taken a note of them, to be honest, but however, I didn't. Now, there was 2 or 3 mistakes. No, I took a note of that. I've put that in from part 2. Yeah, my move. Oh, right. Jumping way back, actually, to, I think this was in part 1. And maybe we should have spoke about this. When this was here, and we had a decision of moving it to here or here. Was it a low risk move? Or was it just a move? No, it must have been just a move. Oh, hang on. Right, sorry, doorbell, as I'm sure you heard. Okay, yeah, so I was talking about this unit making a move. It couldn't have been a low-risk move because it wouldn't have been allowed to go into this guy's fire zone. A low-risk move, would it? So it must have just been a normal move. And we came down to the fact that it could be this hex or this hex. I think I just decided that this felt... I didn't roll on them, which is kind of what I said I was going to do. I was going to, not make a decision for myself, and I ended up doing it, and I moved them into this hex, thinking that this was probably the better hex. But I think if I was to go back there, I'm not going to, but I think I was going to go back there, I think I would roll between the 2 hexes, because the unit being in here is closer to this unit as well. I mean, this is a tough nut to crack, so I mean, if he's here and he takes that unit out, he's then closer to this, and he might want to move and have a go at this as well. Whereas now he's up there, well, he was in there and he moved in there, which was quite a clever move, I thought. So I think if I go back to that, I will just roll the dice. I'm a bit annoyed with myself there. When I was watching it back, I thought, I think I should have rolled it. I think I was thinking it was safer for him to be up there, but, he's better than these units, to be honest. Well, maybe not so much better, but just harder to take out for us infantry, So I think I would have went back and rolled on that, but we'll leave it anyway. I put a note of these 2 in the comments of part 2. This unit moving from here, and it ended up being a low risk move. Now he was in short range. However, he wouldn't fire into here because there was a German unit in there as well. What I didn't consider was that he could have moved in there too. However, the move that we came down to with the card, the only move that was given was a low risk move. And a low risk move wouldn't move into close combat, so he wouldn't have done that. However, a low risk move again shouldn't really move into short range in an enemy fire zone. However, he was already in short range enemy fire zone, and I decided to move him there because he's moving round at the flank. So basically I've left a comment in there saying not sure about that move being right. I think if he didn't do that move, the AI would have just passed, because I seem to recall there being nothing else for them to do. He would have stayed in this 1 DM plus 1 DM hex, the wooden building, which might have been better. I mean, you can see the fact that he's going around the flank, which is maybe quite good too. So I'm not sure. So I kind of left that out there for anybody to maybe make a comment. I just uploaded the 2 videos up to BGG as well now, so it might get some other people watching it or having a look. Although maybe when they started watching the first part, that might be enough for them. So, but you never know. It might drag some others in that are keen on the game that haven't watched my previous videos, so might get some comments on whether anybody thinks that was the right move or not. And yeah, the other one was, I talked about this unit was in close combat with a German unit, and this guy was in here. I'll just put him back there just now. So there was two units in there in close combat, and I talked about him maybe rather than close combat in the spent hit German unit, I think it was, in that hex. Rather than do that, why did I not take a short range shot on this? And I talked about it, and to be honest, I hadn't really thought about it, but as I was reading the rules, you can't do that. Anytime you're in close combat, the only attack you can make is on units in that hex. You can't shoot outside the hex. And then I also came across the rule about you could withdraw out of the hex if you wanted to try and get out of the close combat. But there's certain restrictions to where you can withdraw to, regarding an enemy unit round about. Yeah, I don't think I could withdraw into this hex or something. It was something like that. I need to look into that if it ever came about. But it's not that I was trying to withdraw. I was trying to consider firing outside the hex. I'm kind of glad you couldn't do that, because it felt a bit gamey. So just as well I didn't take that one on, because you can't do it. Right, okay, let's get this, hopefully this scenario finished. Where were we? Yeah, we just started a new round, hadn't we? Yeah, and I drew the card. We got a Follow Me, an auto rally, which we don't need at the moment, and we hadn't rolled for initiative. Now we've got our caps back. Oh yeah, that was one rule I came across. Like I say, I should have taken note of these things within the new, because the old version, Awakening the Bear, the second edition, on first and second edition, they didn't have caps, and this is a new thing that they've introduced to the third edition to bring it. Like I say, they brought out the solo version and must have thought, that's a better way of using the actions, the action points, not using action points and allocating some cap points. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't have cap points, that's right, innit? In the main game. So there was no talk of caps. However, reading in the third edition rules, now, I'm not 100% sure if this applies to solo or not. I couldn't really see anything in the solo rules, so I'm not 100% sure of this. When we get, let's just say I'm here and one of my units gets eliminated, we started with 4 caps, so that would go there. So then next round we would only get 3 caps, right? When we get a maximum of 3 caps, we can't get 4 anymore. Well, according to the main rules, you're always guaranteed 3 caps. So if I had a unit eliminated here and a unit eliminated here, if I have another unit eliminated, the main rules are saying that you would still get 3 caps minimum. Now, I don't think I've been playing it that way throughout. I would eliminate and put there, and then you could end up not getting any caps. So that's how I've been seeing it, but I'm not 100% sure if that's been right, or if this is just something that they'll come up with on the third edition version of the game. Because like I say, they didn't have caps before, and they probably want that. They don't want to, because I think the sort of norm is probably starting with 7 caps, so if you get that many eliminated units, what they don't want is they want to still be able to have some caps every round. So and they're way of playing it in 2-player game. It's every is it every turn? Because you actually complete That's not turn, that's not the right word for it. And it can't be round. They don't use a mission track like this, do they? They've got so many rounds depending on the mission, you know, and they may have got 7 different rounds. I'm saying rounds, I don't think it's that. It's probably a different name for it. I've put that unit back. I don't know if that's in the right place. Damn, give me a second. Right, okay, I did put them back in the wrong place. It's just I picked this unit up to put on the track, put it back in the wrong back. Right, he's good now. So I'm not sure if we get a guaranteed 3 or not, but that's how they play it in the base game. I'm going to kind of say no, because in this mission in particular, I start with 4, so if one unit gets eliminated, then if any more get eliminated, I'm still guaranteed 3 caps. So I don't think that can be right. But if anybody's got any view on that, then let me know. There was 2 or 3 other things, but no doubt they'll come up. But let's just get the game moving. So I've tried to put this dice, I don't know if I can put it that way, just so that I don't keep having to move it about. I can move across there and roll the dice. Right, so we're rolling for initiative. Now, we can spend caps on this, and the rules for initiative with the solo game are we need an 8 or higher, and we can spend 2 caps. Well, the situation is pretty important. We've got 2 close range situations where the AI are more than likely going to fire. This guy will either fire, well, like I say, I think it's based on biggest largest attack rating, isn't it? Firepower, whatever you want to call it. I suppose I should say attack rating, because that's how it is. It's just it's got firepower on my cards, because I've got the original version of it. So I think it would be this guy firing here. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that guy. I could start heading. I suppose I could move him. Yeah, I think I would like to try and get the initiative. What I think I'll do is I'll just spend 1 cap. So that means I need a 7 or greater. And we'll see how that goes. 9. Okay, well, I wasted a cap there then, because that would have done. Right. So, obviously, options are doing something with this or taking a shot with this. And, obviously, if we do move this guy away, then it won't be that guy that'll fire. This guy will fire at him. However, he's still in the woods, remember, isn't he? So, and he's got a defense rating of 12. So, 12 plus 2, 14. This guy's going to shoot with a 5. So 5 against 14 still requires a 9, doesn't it? So I think it's maybe more important to do something with this guy. Now, I could just pivot. I could pivot for 1 action, cost 1 action point to pivot and just face him, so that he's not at my flank and whatever. I think I'm just going to move towards the control. I don't know. So yeah, I think this scenario, probably the main idea in this scenario is just to try and ignore this and stay away from it, really. Just try and avoid it. Because it is kind of difficult to take out. The best, without using a group attack, the best you're going to get is... right, hang on. Oh, I keep getting interruptions. That was a phone call which I've been on for about 10 minutes or so there, so I can't remember what I was talking about. Well, we've got the initiative. Yeah, I was talking about possibly moving towards the control marker, wasn't I? Yeah, the thing is, it's not. I'm thinking this is the strongest unit to go for the attack, but remember, this 4 does not count. It's the 0, and all of my units have got a 0, so any unit is going to be the best unit to take that on. But the best result you're going to get is going into close combat with it, getting the +4, and being able to attack it from its flank. So plus 4 against, so you'd be 4 against 12, so that's an 8 you would need. However, he's in a wooden building there, so that would be a 9 I would need. And the only other way of doing it is stacking. Well, in fact, I'd have to have, I wonder if does close combat, can you group attack in close combat if somebody is adjacent to you? I'm not sure about that one. Maybe, I think if it was close combat, I get the feeling you'd all have to be in the hex. And that only adds like a group attack only adds another +1 for each unit that joins you, and then you've got two units stacked. And in this game, you do not want to stack units together, because when you stack units, if I had 2 units stacked there and he was to fire at me, he gets to do a separate fire against both units, so he could potentially hit both units. It's just the one cost he pays and the one spent check he makes. So you don't want to stack your units. I mean, okay, I dare say there's maybe on occasion where it might work to benefit you, but no, group, by all means, have them adjacent to each other and group move, group fire with them, but I don't think stacking them up's very clever. Right, so what are you going to do, Grant? You're going to head for the control marker? I think so, because I'm going to pull him in, and I don't want him in cover. If I'm going to attack him, I don't really want him in cover. Right, I'm just going to move. I'm going to move towards the control marker, because we'll get a victory point for that, and I'll maybe just keep moving that way and let him chase me, and hopefully the time will die down. Thing is, he'll eventually be able to go over it. Well, he can't take that control marker back just now until he's the only unit left. Remember, that was part of the mission rules. What is it? STKFZ251 may only enter hex I-07 to capture a Soviet control hex if it is the only remaining German AI. So this guy's still here. Right, I'm going to do that. So that was a check on it. He just one movement. He's not moved into any cover, so it's into an open hex. So check on a 1. We've drawn a 2, so all good there. Right, over to him. It's going to be over here now, isn't it? So here we are. What we got? So yeah, short range. The first action is fire. So let's move across to that. Okay, I was messing about with that zoom again. I can't really work that out. That's a shame. It's not a big deal. I'm probably sure nobody's that bothered about it. It's just me being fussy, I think. Right, so he's going to attack. He's got a fire power. Try and use attack rating, Grant. So he's got attack rating of 2, but he gets a +3 for being in close range. So that's 5 against the stronger defense at 12. However, we are in heavy woods, so it's 5 against 14. So he's going to roll 5 against 14. So he needs a 9. Of course we come. And he's only rolled a 6, so good. So we get away with that. Right, and then he's going to check on, what does it cost him to fire? It costs a 3 for him to fire. So let's see what we get. Oh, and he's spent. Look at that. Well, that's good. Yeah, I think this is going to be a comfortable finish for us. Whether we can take the half track out or not, we can maybe give it a go if we can. I think we just need to try and deal with this guy first. Right. Well, it's us to go first. It's us to go next, even. So, do we just fire back? I think we do. Or I could potentially bring this guy. Oh no, hang on. Yeah, he can attack as well. We could have a group. We could have a group attack, because these are both together. Here's the thing with that one though. The fact he's attacking at short range and he's not at short range, does that still count? Does that still give me a group attack? Or would they both need to be in short range for that to count? Not sure about that one. I wonder if I can find anything on that, maybe. Yeah, not 100% sure about that. I don't read anything that says it wouldn't, so I reckon we could group fire with this, and our attack strength, our attack rating would be 3 for that, plus the 3 to attack again, so that's 6, and we would get +1 for that. So I think we would get a 7 attack on that. I'm not going to do that just in case that is wrong, and maybe that unit would have to be at close range too. I don't think that's the case. I think that probably would be allowed to have a group attack and get the 7 attack rating there. So if anybody wants to comment on that and let me know. If I really want to carry on and do it, I think I'd probably need to be looking up on BGG and maybe seeing if I could find an answer to it. But didn't read anything that said that wouldn't work. But I don't think I'll do that, because it does mean you do a spent check, and both these units could end up being spent, and the fact that we're checking on a 4 is quite a high risk of that happening. So I think... Now, what have we got? So he's in cover, so we'd have a 6 against a 13, so that would be a 7. Or we could move in to close combat. The risk there is we draw a blue card, of course, and then he gets to hit us first. But I think I'm going to take the chance. Am I? No, I think we'll stay in cover, actually. I think we'll stay in cover. So I'm going to do a 6 against 12 plus 1, 13. 6 against 13, so we need a 7. What I think I'll do is I'll cap that by 1. So, that's what was it? 6 against 13. So that's 7 against 13. So we need a 6, or even better, a 10 to take him right out. So here we go. Oof, that was looking dodgy at first until that rolled back onto a 5. Right, so we got an 8, so that is a hit. So we're all good there. Let me just get a hit counter. Remember not to expose it. There we go. And then we've got to take a spent check on a 4. And it's a 3, so there you go. So if we did do it, both of them would have been spent. That was a command card, though, which was quite nice to see. Right, okay, so back to them. Draw a card. Oh, still got a command card. Right, so, and they're getting a +1 cap as well. So we are looking at short range, because even though he's spent, this is a blue card, so he's using caps for this. So it's fire +1 caps as well. The only thing being, he's got a hit marker on him, so he's wanting the fire, so we need to have a look at this. Hopefully he can't fire, that would be good. Right, it's the suppress one, so it's +1 to his fire, but his fire power gets reduced by 2, so that's good. Let's put that on top. So he's still going to take the, well, I say he's going to take the shot on, it depends on the numbers, doesn't it? So, well, he'd be attacking with 0, but he'd get the +3, so it'd be 3 against the 12, 14, 3 against 14, but he's getting a cap, he's getting a +1 cap, so it'd be 4 against 14, so he's going to take that on, isn't he? So it's a hit on a 10. He wouldn't take it if it was a 1, but it definitely is, because that's 0 with the +3, the 1 cap, that's 4, so it's 4 against 12 plus 2, 14, yeah. 4 against 14, so he's going to take this attack on, and he needs a 10 or greater. Oh, just one shot. Ooh, that was kind of lucky then. Well, that suppress marker done the job there for us. So he misses. Now he's... Oh no, he doesn't take a check because it's a blue card, yeah. So the fact that that was adding a +1 didn't really do anything else there. So I'll put that back underneath. Okay, so we're okay. However, this guy has spent... We've only got 2 caps left, so we can't spend to attack there. I think I'm going to move this. So I'm going to move this into the control marker. We are going to take control of that hex. That is moving into a white building. So I think I also want to turn my face in that way. So just in the... on him coming. We get a victory point for that. We're up to 3. And yeah, and we take a spent check on a 2 because it was moving into a white building. So 1 plus 1 is 2. We've got a 3, so we're good. Right, over to them. Not a blue card this time, so it's going to be the half track that's going to do something. So what are we going to get here? So it doesn't apply. Execute counter actions. If no unit just fired, AI closest to a spent unit move towards Well, we didn't fire, we moved into there. The AI closest to a spent unit is this, closest to this. So he's just going to move towards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If he moved in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's not getting closer, whereas, so that means he's kind of having to go into there. Turn his face in to get the most. Now, hang on though. He could bonus move, couldn't he? Right. He can actually move 1, 2, 3, which I think is what he's going to do. Yeah, because he's moving into clear terrain. Now he's moving from the woods onto the road, but that doesn't matter, I don't believe. So that would be 1, and then he'd get an extra 2 bonus moves down the road, and he's wanting to try and move towards the AI the AI closest to a spent unit. Well, we've only got 1 spent unit. He's the only AI that we can move. Yeah, I mean, I guess he uses all his bonus movement in this situation. If it had been a low risk move, he wouldn't have done it, because he would have had to move into here, which would be in this guy's fire zone. So I reckon 1, 2, 3. Now, he also wants to turn. Now, he doesn't want to keep his face, and he's not then focused on this when he ends. He needs to keep this in his fire zone. So I want to say we turn like that. And that's really quite bad for us, because that keeps that in his fire zone. It also keeps that in his fire zone, and that. And in actual fact, the one that's down here would still... no, it wouldn't. That's just its side. His fire zone would come right down this row of hexes here, so I wouldn't get him. But that's not... The closest one's the important one, and then any other ones that he can gather up in his fire zone. Yeah, I think that's what he would do. So that was quite nasty. And all he takes is a check on a 1 there. Let me just have a glance at things. Hang on. Yeah, I was trying to find an example in the Solo Rule book about vehicles moving, and I couldn't find any. There's quite a lot of examples in the back of the book. The only one I could find... Now, this is me looking at my original book, not the more up-to-date things, but I'm pretty sure there's an example the same. This is the one I could find. It's a low-risk move towards... Hang on, see if I can wind this down. Yeah, just looking at this, and this is showing a low-risk move. It says the Soviet AI tank can move 2 hexes in the open. Yeah, whereas we've got 2 of the wee blue rectangles, so we can actually move 3 in the open. But this is an example where it can move 2 in the open. The AI looks for a low-risk hex within 2 hexes of itself that is closest to the German tank. This would normally be hex I11, but the German tank has a 360-degree arc of fire. Yeah, what it's saying is it couldn't end there, because if this was just a normal infantry unit, it wouldn't be in its fire zone, but it'd be in short range. And short range in a fire zone, you can do low risk, but because it's not in its fire zone, however, because this is a turreted unit, that would be in its fire zone. So that's why it's given that example. It couldn't move into there. Hang on. Right, more interruptions, and now my phone's at 10%. So I might need to pause and go and charge it. Can I stretch? Not really. Okay, what was I saying? So yeah, the AI looks for a low risk hex with 2 hexes of itself closest to the German tank. This would normally be hex I11, but the German tank has a 360-degree arc of fire. Even though the AI tank cannot move closer to the unit, it will still attempt to move into the unit's flank. It moves along the example 1 path into hex I12. So it doesn't go like that, but it does go 1, 2 into there. Now it's not getting closer, but it is then moved into the unit's flank out of its fire zone. So that says, example 22, if the above order had been a regular move order instead of a low-risk move, then the AI Soviet tank could move into hex I-11, since it would attempt to flank a unit before going into close combat with it. Right, what it's saying is it wouldn't move directly into close combat if it could get a flank. Yeah, I've maybe not looked into that. I need to watch that, because some of the moves could end up just moving straight into close combat, so I'll need to kind of watch with that. Well, in actual fact, that there, the move that we've just made, the unit, could he have ended up moving in that hex? No, because he doesn't get his bonus move if he moves into a building. So my guess with that is he couldn't have started here and went 1, 2, and then finally moved in there for 3, because I think that means if he moves into any hex like that, he can't get the bonus. So he could move from there to there, yeah, but he couldn't use his bonus moves. So I think he moves along to there, and obviously this was his target at the time, but now he's looking at this, and he's at short range with us, and well, kind of hoping that he's going to draw spent, but that's only a check on a 1. He's not ended up in any, he's not done anything wrong, so that's his move, and we do a check on a 1, and he gets a 5, so he's good. I think I'm going to have to pause. It'll just be a pause though. Take that out of the way. Of course, my battery is going to die. So it's our move next, so I'll just go and pause for a bit. So back in a bit. Hi all. Right, I thought I had paused it. I must have stopped the recording, so that's fine though. I'll just join on here. Right, so I've been on pause for quite some time. I want to say it is our turn, isn't it? Yeah, the last move was this, wasn't it? Or was it? Yeah, and he checked. Yeah, they done the counter actions, didn't they? And his spent check was that card. Right, okay. Yeah, so it is us. So now we've got a problem again. The fact that he's moved all the way. I thought I was going to get a bit of breathing space, but in fact, I was forgetting he gets the bonus moves, eh? And now he's tucked in right behind us. So I think I maybe just want to pivot there. I don't know. Does that make any sense? It's only saving my cell. At the moment, he'd be attacking us for 6 against, of course, he'd take our flank defence at 11 and then a +1, so 12, so it'd be 6 against 12. Whereas if I do pivot, it'll be 6 against 13. Still not a bad shot for him, really, is it? But the only other way to do is move out of there. I mean, I could potentially do that. It would also block line of sight if I moved into here. And remember, this can't move into there as long as that's there. So yeah, I think I might do that. Just kind of trying to just keep away from these guys for that guy. Yeah. So I'm going to move 1 into there and change my direction, my facing like that. So that'd be a check on a 1. Yeah, because it does mean he's not allowed to go into that hex. That's a wee bit gamey, Grant. I suppose it is a little. You want to enter hex IO7 to capture Soviet control hex if it is only remaining German AI. Yeah, well, that wasn't my intention. I just wanted to move away from him. I suppose he could still technically be reversing into there, but I guess even if they reverse, they still get bonus moves if it's into an open hex. So I think he could still move adjacent to us. He just can't move into that hex until that guy's away. Yeah, well, I'm going to do that because I don't want to take the chance and getting hit by him. So okay, we're going to do a check on a 1 and we're okay, it's a 2. Right, so over to them. It's not a blue card. So execute counter actions again. as no unit just fired. AI closest to a spent unit move towards. Oh well, he's going to move. He's going to move to him anyway. Yeah, admittedly, if I'd stayed there, he would have fired at me. He would have carried out the short range instruction. Oh, actually, the short range instruction was if unhit, move towards. I'm not sure what he would have done then. That suggests he might have moved into the hex for close combat. Would he be allowed to do that? Well, I don't know. Because he can't take control of that hex, so he's not allowed to move into that hex, is he? We only enter hex I-07 to capture a Soviet control hex if it is the only remaining German AI. It doesn't technically, I suppose that doesn't, the way it's worded means it could maybe move into the hex, it's just not going to change control. Yeah? So could maybe have got away with that. However, he's not done that instruction, Grant, so he's doing the execute counter actions, which is, if no unit just fired, AI closest to a spent unit move towards. So again, he can get bonus moves, so he's actually, 1, 2, 3. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, either there or 1, 2, 3 there. Now one's as good as the other. The only difference being he's going to be in close range at both of these. Yeah, I think this is one where I definitely do want to suggest not roll a die between, because if he moves here, it's given this guy an opportunity to fire, where if he moves there, obviously he's wanting to move adjacent to the spent unit. So I'm going to take a call on that one. So 1, 2, 3, and facing like that. I think that makes sense, because if he did do it here and faced there, it does give me a close range sort of shot. Whether I would take that on or not, well, it'd be a 3 against a 13, wouldn't it? So it's that 10 needed, so it's quite a tough call, right? But at least if he does it there, then he's not taking that chance. Yeah, I think so. Again, I don't like sort of doing that, but it's kind of common sense, that one, I feel. There's nothing else that would instruct me. I mean, if I look in the instructions, it'll be, well, let's just do it. Movement. Fewer number of hexes away. Which the AI move to a hex that is fewer number of hexes away from the target. Then the AI will move out of a fire zone. Then the AI will move into the highest defense modifier hex. Then the AI will move towards the enemy's flank. But I mean, the only hexes he could reach, well, I mean, he could have stopped here, but he's wanting to get as close as possible, and the fact he's got these bonus moves, he can't move in beside that guy. Why can't he do that, Grant? Well, one reason, because that's a terrain that would remove his bonus movement, so he couldn't do that. Yeah, he wouldn't want to stack one other unit. Pretty sure that's one of the things too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't want to stack. Give me a sec. Yeah, I thought I would find that in the movement bit, but just after the movement, you got 5.5 stacking. Well, that's the rules I'm reading anyway. AIs never stack with other AIs unless being transported or ordered to do so in the mission. So, yeah, if an AI's move would stack it with another AI, it must move into a different hex. Okay, so yeah, so it wouldn't move in there. So it's a choice of there or there, and okay, in the rules it would just be a random choice. Again, though, maybe I should. I said that back there, and I said maybe I should randomly, because I'm thinking here, if he lands there, then he could then have a shot at either one. Yeah, let's just stick by the rules here, Grant. Let's not make that decision, because I was annoyed with myself the last time, and I know you can see what I'm saying. Is it silly to move there to give this guy a chance of a shot? Well, it's a long shot he's got anyway with a roll of 10. Right, let's make sure you're getting it right though. So it says sometimes an AI can execute a movement order. I was going to show you that, but I'll just read it. Sometimes an AI can execute a movement order by moving into more than one hex. If this is the case, and remember, this isn't a low risk move, it's just a normal move. The AI will move to a hex that is a fewer number of hexes away from the target. So both of them are going to be one hex away from the target. So you can't get any better than that. The AI will move into the highest defensive modifier hex while both of the hexes are open hexes. Then the AI will move towards an enemy's flank while both of the hexes are the same. There's not one closer to its flank. You could say that if he was in here, he can't really... Well, that's not true. He could still move into this hex to be in his flank. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. And then it's randomly determined which of the hexes the AI will move into by sending each hex a number and rolling 1d6. I think I will do it. Yeah, I think I will. I don't like to sort of just make the choices anyway, and yeah, let's just do it, because the rules aren't saying, although there's the optional rule 42 there to sort of say, look, is it stupid for this unit to move into here? I don't think it's stupid. Would you do it yourself? Probably not. You would probably move into this hex, wouldn't you? If you were making the move for the Germans right now, I think that's where you would go. But I'd rather let the AI get these random sort of decisions from time to time, and sometimes they still work for them. And look at the games that I've played in the past, and with the big strong AIs, the enemy action series, the AI sometimes does make strange moves. It does make moves that you maybe wouldn't do yourself. But there's nothing really in their rules. There's not a rule 42 in the games. Mr. Butterfield has them all. They're all there. You know, you're very rarely left sort of saying, well, I would put the unit there. It's a rule, you know. I mean, this is a rule, and it just needs a random roll. That's where it's taking us down to. So I'm gonna roll this after all me saying I wasn't. So I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6 for the pop. Just gonna roll. Right, here we go. Right, I've rolled a 5. You'll see that in the corner. There we go. So we are gonna put it down at the other side then. So it was here, wasn't it? So 1, 2, and then 3, and then it's going to turn its facing into there. So I'm going to go with that after all, because yeah, I mean, if the rule had said that it wouldn't want to move adjacent to another unit, then fair enough, but it doesn't. It just leaves you with a random choice there, then, unless I'm missing something. So by all means, and let me know what you would have done there yourself, maybe, if you want. Like I say, I don't really want to use Rule 42, but was that such a terrible move for it to make? Was it a definite that it would go there? I don't know. Maybe not. Right, so he's still checking on a movement of 1, a cost of 1, spent check. He's drew a 5, so he's still good. Right, that's over to us. Well, do we want to take that shot on then? I don't know what else we can really do, to be honest. Well, what we maybe could think about doing is getting up in the flank of this guy. Yeah, I think I'll do that actually, yeah. So I think we'll move in there for 1. Yeah, I might just turn my facing that way. That's where the danger is, not that I can see it coming back to us. So that was a 1, but that's all wooden build in as well, so a +1 for that. So we're checking on a 2. And unfortunately it's a 1. Now there's one of the cards that if you were playing with the automatic check result thing, the wee tick, you would have got away with that. But I decided I wasn't playing with that. So unfortunately this is now spent. Okay, no worries. Right, so back to him now. Yeah, so this half-track's going to do something this time, isn't he? Right, if AI plus units is less than or equal to 10, it is. The timer's going to move 1, so let's go have a look at that. So it moves on 1. I think we're just a bit late with this one. So bogged down, it says roll 1d6. On a 1 to 4, the SDKFZ251 is immobilised until the end of the round. Then the AI attempts to execute an order. Unfortunately, he's... well, that's interesting. But I don't know if it counts as a... it doesn't count as a hit counter. That there's a marker for that, I think, because I've had this before. Well, let's roll the dice first. So on a 1 to 4, it'd be immobilised. So here we go. Well, it is a 1, so that is going to happen. Right, now I did have the marker the last game that I played, I think. Yeah, so this is the marker there. It says it's immobilised. It gets a -1 to its defence though. I think that counts. I looked this up in the last game because I wondered exactly because it happened to me in the last game that I played, or maybe it was the first game. So it is immobilised until the end of the round, and then we still carry out, but it's not a hit counter. And the reason I was wondering about that is because you'll notice that the short range first instruction is rally, and I thought, well, maybe he'll try to remove this, but I don't think that's the case. So that is going to allow him, he can't move, he's got a -1 to his defence, and this just lasts until the end of the round, so it's going to automatically come off. But yeah, because there's no rally number on this as well, so it's a different marker. He's not a hit. It's not a hit marker. So fair enough. So he can't move. Well, he's not going to move, is he? Because we now know he would try and rally. He doesn't need to rally. He is going to fire. So he's going to fire at either one of the two. Now I'm not sure what that one boils down to this time, because one's spent and one's not. So if he's got a choice, where are we? If more than one eligible AI, no. If the eligible AI can execute attack order against multiple targets that are equally distant away, then execute the order against the unit that is easiest to hit with the lowest total defence value. Yeah, well, he's going to be firing both of them in their front, so their front's going to be 12. He gets a +2 and he gets a +2. So it's both 14s. So that doesn't, we need to break it down. The hit unit is next. Well, that's not. And then the fresh unit, yeah, because obviously he's not so concerned about this because it can't really fire back, can it? But this one can. So he is going to actually fire on there. So there you go. We rolled between these two hexes. Now he's going to fire on this unit instead of that. So yeah, maybe it was right to roll. Looks like it was. So he's going to roll on him. So it's 3. Short range gives a +3 is 6, and it's fortunately we're in the woods, so 12 +2 is 14. So 6 against 14, no caps, so he needs an 8. So here we go. Oh, almost 7. Ooh, that was close. Right. Okay, so that was fortunate. Yeah, so he missed, and he's going to check on a 2. Let's see if he's spent. We could do with him going. Yes, there we go. A 1, so he is spent, so that's good. So now we can think about something maybe. Yeah, we should try and take advantage of the fact that he's got this -1 on him till the end of the round. However, even better would be to move into the hex and close combat him, wouldn't I? Because then I'd have 4 against, not 12, but 11. 4 against 11, and that's not No, there's no terrain modifier in there. 4 against 11, and I've got 2 caps. So I can make it 6 against 11. I only need a 5 to hit. Thing is, if I move in now, I'm taking a spent check on a 1, unless I use the cap. Because I could use 1 cap to move in just to make sure I didn't get spent. Maybe just take a chance. The last card we drew was a 1. You can't get 2 1s on the trot, can you? Yeah, right. Okay, we're going to take a chance. Because the other thing is, he's going to get a shot in between and might draw a blue card, eh? Well, them's the risks. Okay, in we go. Keeping my facing like that, I think. So into the hex, we're going to do a spent check on a 1. Oh! Ah, dear. Well, there you go, Grant. More fool you. Oops, sorry. So he is spent, and now we've not got enough caps to. That was silly. I should have used the 1, because then I wouldn't have used the 1. Wouldn't have needed the spent check just to make it safe, and then I would have been able to make the attack next turn. That was silly. Because I still would have had 1 cap. I had 2 caps. I still would have had 1 to put towards the combat. Well, we've done it anyway, Grant. Right, so they have no fresh units left, but the round's still going on, so they're going to draw, because they might get a blue card. They don't. If the I plus units is less than or equal to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's bang on 6. So that's a move 2. The timer's going to move twice. It's going to move to swift action. Swift action. The AI performs 2 actions in a row, drawing a new order card for the second action. Only then is it the player's turn. So what does it say down the rules there? The AI will attempt to execute an order on the current order card, which is this one. And then after making an AP spent check, another order card is drawn and the AI will execute another order. Only then is it the player's turn. So that's not a bad time to have hit this though, because the fact that they're spent. So that does still trigger, but the rest of the card's not going to do anything. However, they are going to get to draw another one because both their units are spent. So that's going to go away, and because of that swift action, they are going to get to draw another card. So this could be a blue card here. It's not. If the I plus units is less than or equal to 4, no, that's not going to happen. And they can't carry out any of the instructions because they're all spent. So now, what do we want to do? Do we want to pass? I think we probably do, and we really need the initiative. What is that hit marker? It's a press that makes it harder for him to hit, doesn't it? That's quite good then. Yeah, okay, I'm going to pass because we want to try and go into the next round and hopefully try and grab the initiative so that we get the attack on that first. We are going to lose that -1 because that's going to go away, isn't it? The bog down. Oh well. Right, so we pass, but they get to draw another card still because they might get a blue card, and they don't, but the timer does move again. So we're getting very close to the end now. But that will mean that they'll pass as well because they don't have anything left to move. Okay, so now I'll refresh everything. I'll just pause and do that. And we also take that immobilized marker away because that was just until the end of the turn, wasn't it? It was, wasn't it? Until the end of the round, yeah. Yeah, okay. What else are we doing? We get our caps back. Well, that was a waste as well, wasn't it? We still had 2 caps. So that made it even look worse, didn't it? Yeah, that was silly. We made a mess of that at the end. I think we could have made a better job of that. We're still looking comfortable, admittedly, but you never know. Alright, so okay, back to 4 caps. Now I need to shuffle the command deck up, and then we get to draw another card. I forgot that. Well, the card we've got, which we can still keep. They don't lose them at the end of the round. It's an automatic rally, but we didn't have anything hat, so let's draw another card for the next round. Right, good. Command action, 1 free action, so that's a good one. And then initiative. Right, I think I'm definitely going to put 2 caps into this. So I'll drop my caps to 2 from 4, and then we'll get a +2 to the die roll. So we need an 8, so we need a 6 to succeed. Right, that's that shuffled up. So right, I'm just moving my caps down to 2. I'll keep things over there for the die roll. So we need a 6 at least. Oh, don't know what that is. Oh, we're good. 9. So again, well, we wasted 2 caps, but we needed to make sure of that. Right, so let's take this shot on now. So we've got 0 because we're attacking against the blue defence. Against we get to assume we're in his flank, so it's a 12. It's not in defensive terrain. So we're against a 12, so it's 0 against a 12, but we get the +4 for being in close combat. So that is 4 against 12. And we're going to chuck. And we're going to chuck the 2 caps at him. 4 against 12, need an 8. I'm going to take a chance and just use 1. Right, we'll go for the 1 then. So we need a 7. So that's 5 against 12. So we need a 7 for our hat. Here we go. Oh, it's good. 9. Now, if I took the 2 caps, no, it wouldn't have been a critical hit. We would have needed a 10, wouldn't we? So that was, what did I say? 4 against 7. So we made it 5 plus 9. 14 against 12. Yeah, 14 against 12. So it is a hit. It's not a critical hit. Just trying to think if I used the other cap, it still would have been 1 short of the critical hit. Well, that's good though. We've got a hit, so you never know. It might stop him from attacking or something like that. What have we done there? Right. Right. So we draw. This gets drawn out the other cup. Now there are some units in the game that you would think would be drawn out the vehicle chit cup. I think they changed it. It's an armour cup. Armour hits. And as long as they've got the blue defence value, you draw that out the armour cup. It's just there's a couple of units. I think is it trucks? Trucks, you still just draw them out the infantry because they're soft targets basically. Right, so this is drawn from the vehicle one, or the armour hits. That's what it should be called, I think. Right, and then picture of E-tank. So that goes on him, and then we're going to have to take a check on 4, isn't it? Check on a 4. Now here's the bit, like I say, within the rule. I didn't decide if I was going to use any caps, but going by the 3rd edition rulebook and how they do it, you could then decide now if you want to reduce that value. I think that's a good way of doing it, and I'm just not 100% sure that was the intention in the solo rules. Find out how the attack went, then decide if you want to try and maybe put some caps into keeping your guy fresh. I've never played it that way. If I wanted to use caps into the attack, I would have used them already. But I'm not sure. Let's say the 3rd edition might have brought that new along. Yeah, I know I did say at first I wasn't going to use the rules, but to be honest, the rulebook does look better. I've been reading through it, and I would like to use them. The stress rules I've not started playing with. I'm just going to leave them. I'm not sure I kind of like them either. The stress is whenever you do something with a unit, it gets a stress marker. Then if you use that unit the next again turn, it's a +1 AP, so it's +1 action point to whatever you do with it. So, I mean, you could see that could happen today. The AI would be affected by that too, but I didn't start playing with it, and I'm not sure I really like the idea of it, so I'm just going to leave that. Anyway, right, check on a 4. So, a long shot really in that. There we go. So he's spent, and now he's in a bit of bother. We're really hoping that hit marker's a good one. Right, well, we're probably going to find out right now. So over to them. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's not. I thought that was ending the game. It's plus 2. If AI plus units is less than or equal to 16, which it is, plus 2 in the timer, we're moving past that. The player immediately receives 2 extra caps for this current round only. Oh, that would have been good. That would have been really good because I'd spent 3 already. Anyway, it's skipping by that. So one more move and then the mission will end. So what are we doing here? Yeah, so we have a unit in close combat, so he's going to fire. Yeah, because close combat comes before short range. So he's going to fire, but we do need to now find out what this is. So here we go. Immobilized. I was hoping for one that wasn't going to. We can't rally from that. That's the thing with the vehicle ones. You can't rally. We just need to move away from him now. Right. Well, he is getting to attack. So he's getting to attack with 3 plus 4, which is 7. And there's no terrain modifier in the hex, so it's 7 against our 11. So he only needs a 4 here. Or worse still, an 8 to kill us outright. So here we go. Oh, one short of the outright kill, but it is a hit. So let's see what we get. Alright, so the good thing is we've got that automatic rally card. Right, draw a chat. Now we can look at this right away. So I'm pinned, so can't move either. Yuck. That's pretty bad actually. So he's immobilized. He can't move. The rest of the game he's stuck because he can't rally from that. I say the rest of the game. We've only got one more tick on to end the mission. Okay, so he fired. He needs to check. It's a 2, isn't it? Oh, check on a 2 to see if he's spent. And it's a 1 again. I'm getting some low numbers now. Well, that's good. So that's him spent as well. Now what do we do here? Yeah, because I can't automatic rally. I'm pinned. I've only got 1 cap left. And this card costs 2. So I can't. I mean, if I didn't have that, I could have used my 1 cap to just move him, but I can't. I can't because he's pinned. Yeah, yuck. Well, I can use that, but I wouldn't be able to do an auto rally. I'd have to use that to give myself a rally attempt, and that seems like a waste because I've got an automatic rally card. Okay. Right, maybe just leave that situation then, because at least the half track's spent as well. So should we have a go at this? No effect to their defense. They are in a building, so their defense is 13. We'd be attacking with 6 against 13. Yeah, let's go for that. And in fact, I think I'll use. Yeah, I'm going to use my last cap. So that'll be a 7 against the 13. So we need a 6. And remember, we only need 1 hit on this because he's already hit. So 7 against 13, need a 6. Oh, I think it's 2 3s. That is good. Just. Right, so that's him eliminated. Right, take that away. That goes back in the cup. I'm going to do I'm going to give myself an extra victory point. We're on 4, really comfortable. This has been the easiest one I've had. The first one, when I practiced, I've done, like I say, done 2, won the first, lost the second, but the first one that I won, it was much closer than this. Kind of made this look quite easy, but this is just an introductory mission. And I played quite a lot. I mean, I did start one of the campaigns before when I played it before, and yeah, it gets harder. This is really just to show you how it works. So I'm going to do a spent check on a 4 first, and we draw a 6. So all good there. That would, look at that. That would have finished the game. +1. Right, and then I'm going to draw until I get another command card. Right, not finding any. Oh, there's only 2 we've removed. Right, there's another one then. That's 3. There'll still be more there though, so I'll shuffle this up. Right, sorry, got interruption again. Had a phone call. Where was I? We just killed that unit. We've done the spent check. We removed the command card. Yeah, we got the victory point. Yeah. We shuffled the deck. Yeah. Right, well, it's over to them then, isn't it? Well, I say them. Now, they've only got that half track left, which is spent. Is that right? Yeah, that's 6 roll. Yeah, that's what we needed to hit him, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Right, so we'll draw a card. You might get a blue card, so hasn't, but that could finish the game if AI plus units less than or equal to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's perfect then. So it's a +2, but as long as it reaches here or passes there, that ends the mission. So yeah, good stuff. So that was kind of comfortable win, like, I mean, 4 victory points. We eliminated 3 out of the 4 German units, and yeah. I mean, it's just whatever victory points at the end. As you get to the campaign, certain things happen and progress on to the next mission, but this is just a single mission on its own. So, so there you go. So yeah, reasonably simple mission that, and it doesn't always go as easy as that. It kind of went quite easy, didn't it? Like I say, I did struggle in the second time I played it and lost that one, but it's just to get your feet wet, really. Okay, so I might as well cut that now then. I don't know what, because I cut the video. It's probably about an hour, isn't it? Maybe not quite, but and I think I'm going to just go and set up the next mission, which is Tank Hunt. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so that's that for now, and yeah, well, I'll copy that across, and then I'm just going to set it up and get the next mission started, actually, because that's me now played that one 3 times in the last week or so, so I'd like to see something fresh. Right, okay, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, cheers.